As usual with the Nephilim Press books, I'm going to start off by talking about how much I dislike the cover and how much I love what's inside. This is one of the best books that I've read in recent times, quite simply. And the cover is yeah, well done to the author, who clearly is a not the author, the artist, who clearly knows what he or she is doing. But they really should be making art for angel teenage soft erotica, and not for the covers of esoteric books. It just looks so silly. Anyway, my problem is that this screams fantasy. It doesn't say to me this is something important. This doesn't say this is something eternal that happens to every human being. This says this is a a romantic whatever. Okay, move on. What's inside is priceless. And I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Michael Cecchetelli has brought together some of the greatest names in Western esoteric. I want to say industry, but it's not really an industry. Let's go with world. Okay, the essays have been grouped under 4 parts, but the main 2 parts are the first 2 parts. The first part talks about the nature of the angel. What is the angel? What's the history of belief in the holy guardian angel? To give you an idea, if this is a new concept for you, the holy guardian angel is a concept in Western esoteric tradition that every individual has got an entity that watches over them, that is special and individual to them, that's not shared with other people. Some people say that it is the higher self, simply, and that one encounters the higher self. Other people say that no, it's a separate entity. Whatever your views are, the contents of this book doesn't really take sides. It does talk about the fact that there are different points of view, but for me, what gets really interesting is these 3 essays here. And I'm sorry, Frater Rufus Opus, particularly the 2 entries by Aaron Leach and Frater Ashen Shassan. Aaron Leach talks about what happens once you have made contact. So much focus is placed in occult circles on the process of getting contact. And very, very little is written about what it's like once you've made contact, right? What's life like once you've finished that first knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel? Life changes dramatically, and nothing can really prepare you for that. And so Aaron Leach talks about that. It's fascinating to read, and Frater Ashen Shassan. his essay is really the point where I realize that this book needs to become a modern classic. It's so spot on. It's a method. It's how to gain knowledge and conversation of your own holy guardian angel. But I really, really love his emphasis on individuality and on how this is not something that can be achieved within a group. This is not something that you can get advice on, even, at least not precise advice. He does talk about what's going on behind the scenes, or the reason for various aspects of the rituals that exist. You may have heard of the Book of Abramelin. I did a review of it recently. You may have heard of the Book of Samekh by Aleister Crowley. Frater Asher recently made a book called Holy Daemon, which I also reviewed through Scarlet Imprint. All of those are different methods for the same purpose of gaining knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel, and Frater Ashen Chassan analyzes what's really going on, step by step, at each point of the ritual or rituals that exist. And he talks about how what the experience is for one person may not be at all what it is for another person. And so reading about other people's experiences is not necessarily going to be helpful. In fact, it can get in the way. Aaron Leach was talking about how when he made contact with his own Holy Guardian Angel, he was very disappointed because the process had been so exhausting that both he and the Holy Guardian Angel were in no state for communication, and yet through the weeks and months that succeeded this encounter, he realized that he had very much made contact, and that as both he and the angel regained their strength, they were in constant and very real contact. So yeah, what maybe flashes and lightning for one person may be very subdued for another, and what may be very visual for one person may be very may remain very much on in the realm of feelings for another, and each person will get an experience that is right for them. And I think that's really very important to remember. In fact, in his description of the process, you may have seen watched my video. It was the very first Esoteric Saturdays video that I made about my first religious experience. And reading Frater Ashen Chassan's description of the conditions necessary for making contact with one's Holy Guardian Angel, I recognized at every step the conditions that I had fallen in by chance, it was just very interesting to think about and to consider how the words that we use. I had the understanding that I had an encounter with God. And if I'd been using the words of this tradition, I would have been certain that I had made contact with my Holy Guardian Angel. And I'm sure that they're both not exclusive. Yeah. Okay. Finally, the last few pages of the book contain all of these essays, one after the other. A fascinating essay by Derek Richards from the Ogdoic tradition. Some of you may have read some of the books by Phillips and Denning. Let me see. The three books of occult philosophy. No, that's Agrippa. But they do actually have three books of occult philosophy, which are well respected in the industry. I'll put a link to their books in the description. I may not remember their names properly right now. And then a very short bit by Kevin Ablett, followed by a few excerpts from some debates that happened online in 2011. So there we go, and that pretty much concludes this overview of the book. Yes, that's right. The one by Kevin Ablett is the Thelemite point of view on the Holy Guardian Angel. So it's talking very much about Aleister Crowley's experience with his own Holy Guardian Angel. There we go. But really, really fascinating material. Very well written throughout, and just written by people who know what they're talking about, which makes a huge difference and a great change. So yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Just flicking through very quickly so you can see that actually on the inside it's very beautifully produced. So guys, pick it up. Really, honestly, get yourself a paperback edition or a Kindle edition. There is a hardback edition, but having had bad experiences with hardbacks through this Nephilim Press company in the past, I can't recommend it, particularly not at the prices at which it's currently going. But if you liked the video, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks ever so much for watching as always, and see you very soon. Bye bye.